Dak and the boys versus Brady and the Bucks to kick off the season. Does Dallas have the most dangerous offense in the NFL? Meanwhile, Packers offense locked and loaded for the season. Does Aaron Rodgers finally have the weapons he has always wanted? And Cam Newton back at Patriots practice yesterday and reportedly looking good. You know what that means, everyone. Good Friday morning, everyone. Welcome to First Things First. Alongside Nick Wright, Kevin Wildes, and Mark Schlereth. Stink joining us this morning. I'm Jenna Wolf. Nick, quarterback controversy in New England, is that even a thing?
Oh, it's a thing this year. It's a thing this year, but I think Cam steadied himself yesterday. I think Cam retook the lead in that quarterback race.
He's back in it. We do have a conversation in New England, but we first have to start talking some Bucks and Chiefs. The last two teams standing last season, Pro Football Focus and Nick's family, and Nick's entire extended family have Mahomes and the Chiefs with the league's highest projected win total of 12.5. Brady and the Bucks sitting right behind them at 12. Could last year's Super Bowl team be this year's Super Bowl teams? Stink, start with you. Which team do you trust more to get back to the big game, Bucks or Chiefs?
I would probably go with the Chiefs. And I think the Chiefs are just so incredibly talented. They had one big issue this offseason. That was rebuilding their offensive line, and they took that issue very seriously. Andy Reid and the general manager, Veach, took that very seriously. They rebuilt that offensive line. I think they have actually gotten better with more depth over the course of the offseason. We'll see how some of the young players at center and right guard play. But all the reports at camp is they are mauling people. They look great up front. And I'm telling you, that's really going to be the biggest issue, because when you talk about Chiefs football, they are so incredibly talented outside the numbers. And really one of the big things that they've had success with over the last few years is being able to get 5 eligibles out at all times, meaning they don't have to keep backs in. They don't have to keep tight ends in. They don't have to keep some of their weapons in from a protection standpoint. They allow those 5 guys to stud up, to take care of business up front. And then if they do break down, which they will occasionally, that's when Patrick Mahomes becomes magic. That's when the off-schedule stuff is unbelievable. So in the AFC, as deep as the AFC is, I still think they are the best team. They are the team to be reckoned with.
Well, listen, that's obviously correct. And so I'm going to focus on the other team involved in this equation. And Wildes, I am not prone to offense. I am not someone that is easily offended or bothered by commentary or questions. But this is an offensive question. And it's really no way for us to end a week, start the show with this question. The idea that this is a debatable issue is there's so much revisionist history about last year's Bucks that, again, they won the Super Bowl and the rings shine forever and the banners fly forever and we're all very happy for them. But we should be able to remember how they got there. How, in order to get to the Super Bowl, they had to go through Washington's 4th string quarterback making his first career start, and that game was a 1-possession game throughout late into the 4th quarter. And then in round 2, it is late in the 3rd quarter. The Saints have the ball. The Saints are up a touchdown, and then Jared Cook fumbles, and then Drew Brees melts down, and they move on. And then in round 3, they're up against the Packers without David Bakhtiari, and the Packers have a pre-half and post-half meltdown that leads to that victory. That's how the Bucks got to the Super Bowl. The Chiefs, on the other hand, got to the Super Bowl the way they, consistently do. No road games, not really any adversity. They lead the Browns for 56 consecutive minutes to end that game. They lead the Bills for, 39 consecutive minutes, including a 38-6 run to win that game. So if the question is, if these two teams matched up again in the Super Bowl, who would win? That's actually, you could say, how can the Chiefs combat what the Bucks did in last year's Super Bowl? Bucks were so dominant. But who could get there? The Bucks needed every break imaginable to get there. The Chiefs, on the other hand, Mahomes got injured in their first playoff game, and they still never trailed and were never in real peril. So to me, the Chiefs are the best bet in football, or the best bet in sports, to get back to the Super Bowl. Tampa Bay, on the other hand, their whole offseason was, we don't want to get better, we just want to get older. Okay, we'll see if that works, but I don't think this is a debatable topic.
So that I agree with you. I hate to say it. It's the biggest upset that's happening, other than your hair looks better than mine today. I was like, holy cow, what is going on? Rough Friday for
thanks,
you,
buddy.
man. So, hey, Schlereth,
wow.
you won back-to-back Super Bowls. It felt like when the Bucs went into last season, they were like aggressively trying to get better. We got Tom Brady. Are we good enough? We got O.J. Howard. No, let's get Gronk. Oh, we got Mike Evans. We got Godwin. Nope, let's get A.B. All right, we're solid at the running back position. Nope, Leonard Fournette is available. Let's get him. Get better, get better, get better, get better. Then comes the offseason. They're in the parade like, no, nobody's going anywhere. We're going to sign all our starters. They're going to bring back 22 guys. And I think a lot of people out there are thinking that's what you do. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. So what's the balance of if it ain't broke, don't fix it, and if you're not getting better, you're getting worse?
Yeah, I think it's a good question. I think, number one, you have to look at how talented they are as a football team. And I'm talking about depth on defense. They're young on the back end of their defense, and they played exceptionally well in that defensive backfield. Their two linebackers, I mean, those guys are football playing Jessies. They can run, they can hit, they can cover, they can play zone, they can do everything. So I think when you talk about overall talent, you know, this league usually turns over at about a rate of about 30-35% from a roster standpoint. And you're talking about not only 22 starters, but they get Antonio Brown back. So it's like 23 starters that they retained. And I think the biggest thing is the drive of Tom Brady. And it is like, I won't be surprised 5 years from now when he reveals that he's not actually a human. He's an alien. It won't surprise me at all, because the guy is so driven. And I'll tell you, here's the amazing thing. It's not your desire to play on Sunday. It's your desire to work Monday through Saturday that ends up ending your career. You just get tired. You get beat up. Your body breaks down. You're like, I don't want to do this anymore. And the fact that that guy isn't sated by 7 Super Bowls, 10 Super Bowl appearances, well, if you ask him what his favorite ring is, he'll say the next one, and he means it. And the effect that he has had on that football team, from he walks into that locker room and guys think they're professionals. Guys think they know how to prepare. Guys think they know all this stuff. And then they realize, oh, crap, I'm not even close compared to the way that guy works and the way that guy prepares. And that's what he has done for that organization. So he's absolutely amazing from that standpoint, and that's why I still give them a ton of credit for the potential of winning the NFC.
Well, and so a point about kind of that line of thinking in regards to the Chiefs, and then a point about Brady. All of that is true as far as not being stated and the drive. I also think when you're doing the math on Kansas City, you've got to incorporate the fact that this is not a team coming off a Super Bowl. This is a team that was favored in the Super Bowl, and that was the worst game they have played since Patrick Mahomes took over. The fewest points, the biggest margin of defeat. It was the first time since Alex Smith was the quarterback of this team that the Chiefs have been beaten soundly. The first time they were beaten with Patrick Mahomes playing quarterback by more than 1 score. The first time they were held under 20 points with Mahomes playing quarterback, or second time under 20. First time under 10. So what level of extra almost motivation and we must get back there do they have? On the Brady thing, listen, here's what happened with Brady. When he was 38 years old and 39 years old, folks such as myself were like, 40-year-old quarterback's never been able to do it. I think it's time to start questioning him. And then he won a couple more Super Bowls. And because of that, now there are less questions about Brady's age at 44 than there were at 39. And I am not afraid to step on that rake potentially again and say he is human and the dude's 44 years old. Like, if Stink's wrong that he's not going to reveal he's actually an alien, then it is not hating or unreasonable to say he is going to get at least slightly worse this year than he was last year, and then the previous year and the previous year, because he's 44 years old. It's George Blanda with, better hair and a nicer chin. Yeah. Like, at some point, that is true. What's up, Wilds? What?
Yeah, I agree. Is that a new rule of the show? Can we do that from now on? Can we talk about great players aging and then it being fair to question? I don't know if a guy was hurt 2 of the last 3 years.
40. Once they hit 40.
Can we do that on the show?
Absolutely.
Is that allowed now,
Once
Jenna?
they hit
because
40. Once they hit 40.
Once they hit 40, okay.
No problem. So yes, LeBron's got 4 more years before you got to worry about it.
I didn't say
Once they hit 40, it's fair game. Yeah.
Shame on you. Nick's out here rake stepping. Who's going to get hurt? Not us. Hey, Bucks, by the way, open with the Cowboys.